Well, PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti once again singing Pakistan's tune ahead of Prime Minister Modi's crucial Jammu and Kashmir meeting on Thursday. Stoking a fresh controversy, Mufti said centre should hold talks with all stakeholders, including Pakistan. Attacking the centre, Mufti said the government can go to Doha to talk to Taliban, then why not talk to Pakistan? Centre for the first time has invited Jammu and Kashmir local parties for talks after the abrogation of Article 370, but PDP chief now wants to make Pakistan a stakeholder for talks on Jammu and Kashmir.
हम कहते हैं कि ये दोहा जाके तालिबान से न सिर्फ जम्मू कश्मीर या हमारे मुल्क के अंदर बल्कि पूरे खिते में, तो इसके बगैर कोई चारा नहीं है।
क्लियर कर दिया, नो
कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन दैट। और डायलॉग की बात हमसे डायलॉग कर रहे हैं। हम कहते हैं कि ये दोहा जाके तालिबान से डायलॉग कर रहे हैं। आपने सुना होगा हमारी गवर्नमेंट तो जम्मू कश्मीर में डायलॉग करे और सबके साथ करे और पाकिस्तान के साथ भी करे रेजोल्यूशन के लिए।
देखिए, यहाँ तक बातचीत का विषय है तो भारत ने हमेशा से ही अपने पड़ोसी देशों के साथ बातचीत की है। भारत के सभी देशों के साथ, दुनिया भर के देशों के साथ हमारे बहुत अच्छे संबंध हैं, लेकिन राष्ट्र की एकता और अखंडता हमारे लिए सर्वोत्तम है।
Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir's Gupkar Alliance has decided in favor of meeting Prime Minister Modi, which is scheduled on Thursday. This meeting, the decision was taken at the meeting of all 6 political parties of the Gupkar Alliance, which was held at the residence of National Conference Chief and Alliance Chairperson Dr. Farooq Abdullah. Addressing the press after the meeting, Abdullah said the alliance leaders will meet the Prime Minister and put forward their stand before the central government. He's also clarified that no agenda has been set by the centre for talks. The Gupkar Alliance also asserted that restoration of Article 370, that accorded special status to Jammu and Kashmir, is actually a must in these talks.
कि वज़ीर-ए-आज़म की तरफ से दावतनामा आया है और हम उस दावतनामे में जाने वाले हैं। वहाँ पे हमें उम्मीद है कि हम अपने जो मौक़िफ़ है उसको वहाँ पे वज़ीर-ए-आज़म साहब और होम मिनिस्टर साहब के सामने रखें।
वी आर नॉट अगेंस्ट, हम डायलॉग के खिलाफ नहीं है, पर हम ये ज़रूर चाहते थे कि कुछ कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग मेजर्स होने चाहिए। जैसे पूरे मुल्क के अंदर कोविड की वजह से जेल में जो कैदी थे उनको रिहा किया गया, जम्मू कश्मीर के हवाले से भी ये होना चाहिए था। जो हमारे सियासी कैदी हैं या दूसरे डेटेनीज हैं उनको रिहा किया जाना चाहिए था, अगर वो वाकई चाहते थे कि वो जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को रीच आउट करना चाहते हैं, हम लोगों को रीच आउट करना चाहते हैं। दूसरा हमारा ये ख्याल था कि अगर PAGD के हेड के तौर पे फारूक साहब जाएंगे, मगर इनका ये है कि नहीं, हमको इंडिविजुअली इनवाइट किया गया है, सबको अलग अलग जाना चाहिए। पीपल्स अलायंस का जो एजेंडा है, जिसके लिए हमने ये अलायंस बनाया हुआ है, जो हमसे छीना गया है, हम उस पर बात करेंगे कि ये आपने गलती की है, ये इलीगल रहा है, ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है। इसको बहाल किए बगैर जम्मू कश्मीर का मसला और जम्मू कश्मीर के हालात और इस पूरे खित्ते में आप अमन बहाल नहीं कर सकते।
Sir, what was discussed in the meeting? What has been decided by the Gupkar Alliance?
It has been decided that the Gupkar Alliance, all the members, they will be going for this meeting, and there is an apprehension that there is a structured dialogue going to be there. There is nothing like that. It is an open meeting. The PAGD, all the constituents of PAGD and the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, they stand by that declaration that restoration of 370 and 35A is a must.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया ने मीटिंग बुलाई, हमें दावत मिली, यही फैसला हुआ कि हम उस मीटिंग में शिरकत कर लेंगे, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया की बात को सुनेंगे और जो हमारी तजावीज़ है, हमारा एजेंडा है, उनके सामने रख लेंगे।
और आपने साफ कहा कि जो गुपकार अलायंस बना है वो बना था 370 बहाली के लिए बना है, और आपका वो स्टैंड उस बैठक में जो प्रधानमंत्री की तरफ से 2 साल बनाई वो जारी रहेगा। तो क्या आप एक बार फिर मांग करेंगे?
नहीं, लाजमी तौर पर हम मांग कर लेंगे कि जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया ने हमें दिया है, अगर वो वापस लिया गया, उसका कोई हिस्सा, कोई हक ज़रूर हम प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया से मांगेंगे कि हमें वो सब कुछ वापस मिलना चाहिए जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया ने हमें दिया है या दिया था।
Well, Rahul Gandhi has hit out at the Prime Minister over the COVID crisis, and it's led to another political showdown. While releasing a white paper on COVID management, Rahul Gandhi hit out at Prime Minister Modi, saying his tears couldn't save lives or wipe away the pain of those families who lost their loved ones because of lack of oxygen. He's also said that Prime Minister Modi was busy with elections and didn't take the second wave seriously. BJP is now hit back at Rahul Gandhi, with Sambit Patra calling his Confucius Gandhi. Sambit Patra also said Rahul Gandhi spread vaccine hesitancy and also asked the Gandhis to come clean on whether they got themselves vaccinated or not.
जो नीडलेस डेथ्स हुई हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर के आंसू उन परिवारों के आंसू को नहीं मिटा पाएंगे। वो सब परिवार जानते हैं प्रधानमंत्री के आंसू ने उनको नहीं बचाया, मगर ऑक्सीजन जरूर बचा सकता था।
कंफ्यूजन और राहुल ये पर्यायवाची शब्द है। कंफ्यूजन इज दाई नेम। राहुल गांधी जी का नाम ही कंफ्यूजन है। ही इज कन्फ्यूशियस गांधी।
The government must treat all states equally. This is a matter of life and death. And the government must not view Indian states as BJP states versus opposition states. All states must be viewed in the same light. All states must be provided with the same assistance. All states must be provided with the same quantity of vaccinations that are required.
राहुल गांधी, आर यू वैक्सीनेटेड? क्या प्रियंका वाड्रा जी ने वैक्सीन ले लिया है? प्रियंका जी, आर यू वैक्सीनेटेड? रॉबर्ट वाड्रा वैक्सीनेटेड हैं या नहीं है? बिकॉज जो कांग्रेस की फर्स्ट फैमिली है, क्या ये फर्स्ट फैमिली वैक्सीनेटेड है या नहीं है? आप 1000 वर्चुअल पीसी कर लीजिए, किंतु एक तस्वीर लाखों शब्द बयां करती है।
Yes, good work has happened yesterday, but this is not a series of events. This is a process, and it has to make this process work not just on one day, but every day. Mission, a COVID vaccination mission, is a good one where we involve the country and say, okay, as a nation, we have to get this job done.
राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जब भी इस लड़ाई में निर्णायक मोड़ आए, उस समय उन्होंने राजनीति करने की भरसर प्रयास किए। हमें वैक्सीन क्यों नहीं दे रहे हैं से जब कोवैक्सीन आता है और छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान इत्यादि राज्यों में कोवैक्सीन सप्लाई की जाती है, तो कांग्रेस शासित राज्य मना कर देते हैं वैक्सीन लेने से। वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी को बढ़ावा मिलता है।
So this idea that there are some BJP states and there are some Congress states and we have to prove that BJP states are vaccinating better, which is embedded in the way the government is acting, is not a good idea. It's a dangerous idea for the country.
कभी कांग्रेस शासित राज्यों में जाइए और वहां किस प्रकार की परिस्थिति है, वहां कैसे वैक्सीन प्रॉफिटियरिंग हो रहा है पंजाब में, वहां किस प्रकार से वैक्सीन वेस्टेज हो रहा है राजस्थान में, किस प्रकार से वैक्सीनेशन सही तरीके से नहीं हो रहा है छत्तीसगढ़ में। आप वर्चुअल से निकल करके रियल ग्राउंड में जाके समीक्षा करिए राहुल गांधी जी।
Some news just coming in. Phase 3 data of Covaxin has been just reviewed by the Subject Expert Committee of the DCGI, which is a special body then to look into COVID treatments and also COVID vaccines. The procedure now is that the Subject Expert Committee is going to be sending the data to the Drugs Controller General of India for reviewing. Bharat Biotech, sources are telling India Today, made a presentation in which the data was presented, and phase 3 trials are showing 77.8% efficacy. The Subject Expert Committee is looking at the data, and the data is then going to be given to the DCGI. So this is a procedural matter, remember. This is a vaccine that has already got restricted use authorization in India, so there was no approval or disapproval associated with this meeting. It is a process that involves a review of the data before it is presented before the country. Initially, Covaxin, Bharat Biotech had not gone through this route and had given the data to the press. Sources indicate that the drugs controller had in fact mandated this information to be given to the DCGI first and then to the people of the country. Milind Sharma has more details on that story. Efficacy data 77.8%. This is a procedural matter. It's a process of data review, but significant also given the fact that the WHO pre-qualification meeting is tomorrow, Milind.
Yes, Neha. In fact, today Bharat Biotech had submitted the phase 3 clinical data. The data is not in public domain, but this is a procedural action that had to be taken. It first went to the Drug Controller General. You have seen how they have got a review, and it has been moved forward for that very critical EUL that is required from the WHO as well. The last time that we spoke to sources in Bharat Biotech, they had said that they had not unblinded the data by that time. And now that unblinding has happened, the data has gone through the country's drug regulator, which is the country of origin, that's India. Now they will be able to submit the data to the WHO for pre-qualification, which will allow Covaxin also to be part of the vaccines that are approved by the WHO across the world.
Milind, thanks for getting us up to speed with those developments. While talking about vaccinations, remember yesterday India started the drive for free vaccination. At least 75% of the vaccinations in the country free of cost for everybody irrespective of their age. 25% of cost is going to be given to private hospitals. India has inoculated 86 lakh, in fact, people with the COVID-19 vaccine in 24 hours. Well, this milestone on a day when the centre took over the procurement of vaccination and began providing vaccines for everyone above the age of 18, free of cost. As per estimates, India needs to vaccinate 1 crore people every single day if we are to achieve the target of vaccinating everyone by the end of this year. The government has claimed they have the capacity to administer 1 crore jabs every single day. 1 crore 25 lakh jabs is what the government of India has said. Has India achieved this feat? Prime Minister hailed those who got vaccinated. He's also lauded frontline workers for their work. Home Minister Amit Shah called the feat as incredible, hailing the Modi government for its vaccine policy. The big challenge is going to be to ensure a steady supply of vaccine doses, stem out vaccine hesitancy. Moreover, fast-tracking global vaccine availability and promotion of Made in India vaccines will be the key challenges ahead for this government.
Now that the center has taken charge, I think there has been adequate supplies, and also a very important thing that has happened is an advance warning system which has been virtually installed between center and state, that the states can now map how they are going to vaccinate people in which region, at what pace. That has had an impact that the government has been able to ramp it up to above 82 lakh mark. Importantly, some of the states which were lagging behind as far as the vaccine drive is concerned are the bigger beneficiaries. They have done very well yesterday. In fact, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh and others have done very, very well. They are the top 5 states. One important element now from on is that if in June 12 crore vaccines are going to be administered after ramping up, it's likely to be taken to 18 crore in July. That means almost 1.5 times of what was done in June. But the clock is ticking because there are only 6 months left, and you've got 95 crore people to be vaccinated in total. One important element that the government is looking at is the disproportionate ratios. Like in rural areas, vaccine is not as dominant the drive as in the urban areas, and that divide the government is saying that it will try to remove as far as the rural and urban vaccinations are concerned.
Madhya Pradesh accounted for over 20% of the total vaccines administered on day one of the new vaccination policy of the union government, under which the center has taken complete control of the entire vaccination drive, under which all those aged above 18 are being provided free vaccination. And in Madhya Pradesh, to ensure this, 7,000 vaccination centers were set up across the state, and the state government had also appointed motivators to encourage people to participate in this vaccination drive, which led to over 16 lakh people being administered the vaccine on day one against a target of 10 lakh people. With Vijay Irshad Khan in Bhopal, Hemendra Sharma for India Today.
With the mega vaccination on 21st of June crossing 82 lakhs in India, UP has registered more than 6,90,000 vaccination on the very first day. We are right now here at outside one of the CHC where you can see the people are coming in big numbers. UP targets 6 lakhs per day vaccination in June, but on one day they have crossed 90,000 surplus, and now with that the government is very much sure that in coming days they will be able to get their target. For July, they have set the target of 10 to 12 lakhs per day vaccination, reaching 3 crore in the month of July. Certainly with the rapid action plan, concentrated vaccination and mini cluster level vaccination at the block level has helped the government to expand the drive in Uttar Pradesh with a target to vaccinate more than 3 crore by July. On the first day itself, the numbers are inspiring, and at the same time government believe that with this particular approach towards the vaccination, it is easy to get the target, and with a constant effort they will be able to get that number very soon. In Lucknow with cameraman Sanjay Singh, Abhishek Mishra for India Today.
Well, chaos ensued at a vaccination center in Delhi after people had to wait for hours. Kumar Kunal with this ground report.
It is free vaccination drive for all, and hence people are coming at the vaccination centers in big numbers. But this is one of the vaccination centers at Delhi. People are queuing up here since morning, and the line which is starting at this gate can be seen for the meters, and it is an unending wait for those who are here for get themselves vaccinated. And right now several of persons are jostling to get inside the vaccination center as there is a provision to walk in inside the center to get themselves vaccinated. So it is really hard time for the authorities to convince them that only limited vaccines are available, and hence they can't allow everyone to enter inside. कब से आप लोग इंतजार कर रही हैं?
8 बजे से खड़े हैं सर, 8 बजे से खड़े हुए हैं, अभी कर रहे हैं, और लेकिन जो अपने जान पहचान के आते हैं उन्हें सीधा अंदर। ये डिपार्टमेंट के, ये मेरा दोस्त है, ये है, हम पागलों की तरह अपनी नौकरियां छोड़ के 8 बजे से खड़े हैं।
No one is there to guide anyone, and hence chaos is all around, which can be seen at these vaccination centers in Delhi at least.
Well, with over 86 lakh jabbed in a single day, my colleague Akshita Nandgopal explains in detail on what India needs now. Take a look.
So here's a look at how we're doing in the vaccination drive. Remember that the government has set a very ambitious target of vaccinating all adults by the end of this year. So to achieve the target, what do we need? We need to keep the target of 1 crore jabs per day to meet that deadline of December. Also, the government needs to ensure that there is a steady supply of vaccine doses. Global vaccine availability, ensuring that all deals and contracts are signed immediately for India, must be fast-tracked also by the government. There should also be a push for new made-in-India vaccines, and that's something that the government is currently working on. They've already signed a couple of deals on that front, and one big issue is vaccine hesitancy. That's something that also authorities must address and ensure that there are more awareness campaigns so people, particularly in rural parts, step out and get inoculated.
Well, rural India bore the brunt of the second wave of COVID-19 infections earlier this year. Keeping in line with its tradition of standing with Indians in their time of need, Care Today and Aaj Tak have launched an initiative to provide free medical care to those who lack access to doctors and medicines. Take a look.
For weeks now, these Aaj Tak Corona clinics have been rolling through Uttar Pradesh. From Gorakhpur to Mao, to villages in and around the capital city of Lucknow, they've helped many, thousands in fact, in desperate need of quality medical attention. Manned by doctors and loaded with all medical amenities, from medicines to COVID test kits, these Aaj Tak Corona clinics on wheels have provided relief to countless families in the interiors of Uttar Pradesh. The initiative is because at India Today we believe not only in showing you the news as it unfolds, but also in extending timely help to those in need.
ये लोग यहाँ पे आके मुफ्त दवा वितरण, जांच और लोगों को अवेयर कर रहे हैं.
At Kahala village near Lucknow, we not only conducted free of cost COVID testing, but also provided medical help to people.
आज तक की टीम जैसे बता रही है तो गांव के ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग जागरूक होंगे, इससे लोगों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फायदा होगा.
आज तक जो यहाँ पे आकर के ये हमारी बात दूर तक पहुँचाने के लिए इसने किया और जो हमको फ़ायदे दिए इसके बारे में आज उसका हम बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं कि उन्होंने समझाया कि इससे क्या फ़ायदे हैं, क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए आपको, और जिनके पास कुछ जैसे छोटी मोटी बीमारी थी उनको दवाइयाँ भी दी है.
In the tribal areas of Mau district, India Today organized COVID tests with the help of the Doctors for You team.
जहाँ भी जाते हैं अपने घर से दूर जा रहे हैं तो आप लोग को मास्क जरूर लगाएं.
निःशुल्क जो है जांच हो रही है, निःशुल्क दवा वितरण की जा रही है और इससे काफ़ी लोग लाभान्वित हमारे गांव के हुए हैं.
In Gorakhpur, along with giving medical aid, our teams also addressed the issue of vaccine hesitancy by dispelling fears among the local populations.
टीका लगाने के लिए टीम आई है, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों ने टीका लगाया और इस टीम को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ.
Through the Aaj Tak Corona Clinic, our goal is to reach the underprivileged in rural areas and connect them to our doctors using our ability to reach wide masses. In the first 12 days of its launch, the clinic on wheels has covered 41 districts of UP and Bihar and helped close to 3,700 people. With Ashish Srivastav in Lucknow, Gajendra in Gorakhpur and Durga Kinkar in Mau, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, it's a shocking case of suspected dowry death in Kerala, which prides itself over gender empowerment. A 24-year-old Ayurveda student, Kiran, was found dead inside a house in Kollam yesterday. The woman's family has alleged that she was being tortured by her husband over dowry. The deceased was married to one Vismaya, an assistant motor vehicle inspector, a year ago. Kiran's family has images of WhatsApp chats that shows images of injuries shared by Kiran, which were results of dowry torture. Her family says she had returned home once, but later went to live with her husband and in-laws after completing her studies. The WhatsApp chats show that, if in fact now accessed by the police, suggests that the husband would thrash and kick her in the face, even pressing her leg into Kiran's face, his leg. A case has been registered for unnatural death.